This is WordPress Plugins A to Z.
Ready to rock and roll. 5, 4, 3.
It's episode 336, and we've got plugins for subtitling, conference sessions, admin sticky widgets, event countdown timers, user path routes, and more. It's all coming up next on WordPress Plugins A to Z.
WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 60,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join John Overall and Marcus Couch for this weekly unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress Plugins A to Z.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the Brewery Overlook in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, I'm John Overall.
And from the smoky beachside bunker in Laguna Beach, California, I'm Marcus Couch.
Yeah, you're down there near the fires. How close are those fires to you?
40 miles in every single direction. They literally surround me.
Oh, hey, being like being in the oven, baking and cooking.
Yeah, so if, put it this way, it would have to go through billions of dollars of property to get to me. So.
Yeah, well, it seems like they've been not doing too bad of a job of doing that.
Right.
Oh, well, at any rate, let's get going here. And, of course, don't forget right off the top, you can get all the show notes over at wppluginsa2z.com. And if you got a few minutes, we greatly appreciate your time over at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store, leaving us a review and subscribing to the show there. Really much appreciated. And you can also take a few minutes to visit us at YouTube, where you can catch us live. And also there's some training videos, and all the other shows go up there on a regular basis. So go check us out on YouTube. All the links are in the show notes.
That's right. Also, remember, you can follow the show on Twitter at WP Plugins A to Z, and subscribe to our newsletter. That's where we keep a bulk of the latest news, content, things like that. So check all that out at wppluginsa2z.com.
Okay, and this takes us, we'll just jump right into this show and into the meat and potatoes of everything we got. So off we go. First up, this week here, we have our usual set of 6 great plugins for you, and I've got with you the first one called Add Subtitle. Now, the reason for this one here, what it does for you is any theme that you have out there, this is a simple way to add subtitles to the titles of all your posts and pages. And in particular, I've got a site that I've been working on that had a subtitle system built into its previous theme that we needed to rip out as we're updating and upgrading. And this is a nice simple plugin to compensate and redo that. But it's something you could add in at a later time, or if you wanted to build a website. It's simple in that all you really have to do with it is turn it on, plug it in, play, and just start adding subtitles in there. Now, one caveat I did discover, unfortunately, is with some of the new themes out there, such as Enfold and others, it stuffs the subtitle underneath the metadata, which would be, the date, time, the author, all that information there, instead of having the subtitle above it. So it might take a little bit of adjustments to cure that problem, but other than that, the plugin seems to work really great. So go give it a check out. It's called Add Subtitle, and I give it a 4-dragon rating.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. All right. John, this is actually one of these kind of no-brainer plugins. Why should it even need a plugin? This one is called Admin Sticky Widget Areas. And if you're like me, John, you probably have a bunch of different widgets and stuff on the left side that you typically would drag it to. Maybe it goes down pretty far, right? Sometimes those go down really far, way past where the widgets are. So what happens is you end up having to grab one, drag it, wait for the screen to scroll all the way to the top, pray that you've clicked it long enough to hold the thing down, and drag it into a specific area. Well, this plugin does something a little bit differently. what it does is it fixes those widget areas on the right side of the page on the admin area so that they are always in view when you're scrolling up and down on the left side trying to find out which widget to add. So it holds it takes a lot of time away from having to hold the widget, dragging it, dropping it over, a long distance, and then having to finally put it down. So if you're like me and you've got a lot of little inactive sidebar stuff and widgets that you can drag, and it's sometimes a little bit difficult to move that over, check out this plugin, Admin Sticky Widget Areas, and I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Very cool. I kind of like how that is going to hold them in there for you, even if it does add a little bit of time.
Right.
Nice work. All right. Well, that brings us up here. This show here, sponsored by the following people and or businesses. Currently sponsored by johnoverall.com, WordPress and Web Services. Finding quality WordPress hosting and support can be a challenge. Well, you can drop all that stress by contacting johnoverall.com. Web Services can help you eliminate your WordPress stress, solving your WordPress emergency issues, or doing the more day-to-day items such as finding that perfect plugin, helping you move to a new hosting provider, or even providing quality WordPress hosting. With 20 years experience online, over 8 years dedicated to WordPress, johnoverall.com provides all your web service needs from hosting to WordPress development repairs and emergency malware removal if such be the case to your site. Visit my website at johnoverall.com or call me 818-850-7729 or send an email to john@wppro.ca.
And anybody that listens to this show loves WordPress, loves the inner workings of WordPress, and we might be able to tap that and make something out of it. What do I mean? How about writing for Smashing Magazine, where I'm now the WordPress editor? It's one of the biggest web design resources online, and I'm looking for people to explain what it is that they love about WordPress, tell me their latest tips and tricks, all those kinds of things. Lots of different articles that are needed. Now, what happens? You submit an article to me. It goes through editorial processes, reviews by peers, all that kind of stuff. Eventually, it makes its way to that beautiful website that gets over 6 million unique hits a month, and you get a lot of exposure on your end. So if you want more information, go to marcuscouch.com/smashing. It's where I've set up a little video and a form where you can sign up to be an author. So check it out, marcuscouch.com/smashing.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like the new website they've got. It's a whole lot easier to navigate than it used to be.
Yes, definitely.
And also they've got a great membership package where you can get a whole lot of additional information too. So you might want to check it out.
That's actually brand new, that membership component.
Yeah, that's what I understood. But I was checking it out last week after I discovered they changed their website out. Okay, well, that brings us up to our next set of plugins. Next up here, I have one called WP Widget Cloner. And this one here is a fantastic one, especially when you're in the process of developing your websites, because in that process, you're often using the same widget over and over, only with slight tweaks to adding things. Say you want to have multiple widgets for example, Facebook or something, but you'll want to lead it to different Facebook pages. Instead of having to drag over a blank one, fill in every item that goes in there, you can just hit the clone button and then go in and change the one line you need and save it, and you're done, thereby saving you a few minutes. This is a really great tool if you're building out a website or if you're just updating a website and adding more widgets to it. It's a great way to get all the additional widgets in there. It's very easy to use. You plug it in, turn it on, and then you just go to your widgets, and there's a little clone button there. Click it, and it clones it, and then you just add it, and you can even move it to other widget blocks as you need to. Very sweet little plugin. One of my kind of favorite ones. Nice, easy, and lazy, and helps you out quite a bit. So, of course, it gets a 5 Dragon rating. Check it out, WP Widget Cloner.
Yeah, I love that. And everybody's always heard me complain about the widget area needing an export and import, and we actually did that review not too long ago.
Yeah, the export and import ones are nice too, especially when you're changing websites.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this plugin is very intriguing. It's called Allowed Routes. And here's what it does, John, is if you determine that page Z can only be seen if you first go through page X, then page Y, that's what this is.
Nice.
It basically says, look, if you're going to get to page Z, I'm not going to let you just be able to copy and paste this link and go to this page. So what happens is it gets a 404 or a custom error message if it hasn't gone through those first two pages or wherever you've set up as being the path for that page. Now that's pretty cool because what it does is it prevents back-end pages from actually getting indexed. It makes sure that no custom post types add unwanted permalinks, and it's a very cool thing to make sure that someone goes through a particular path before they see certain content. Very nice plugin, very specialized, yet if you need something like this, you definitely know that you need something like this. It's called Allowed Routes, and I rated it a 4 out of 5.
Well, this is very sweet. And one of the things I see is fantastic for is if you've got a particular sales path you want to lead people to, it prevents them from showing up at the end and not seeing the stuff in the beginning, which is very important to it.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, very nice. This is a great way to keep people guided through your site, doing the things you want them to do.
That's right.
Nice. I'm going to have to keep that one in mind as I'm rebuilding my website.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this leads us up to, we got some listener feedback this week and some donors. And this week here, listener feedback. Well, before we get into that, I want to say hi, Larry. Thanks for showing up and watching us live. Much appreciate. You keep showing up week after week, and we greatly appreciate that. And some of the feedback we got this week, got a little email. It said, "Hi, guys. Thanks for your continuing to do this podcast. It is a great source of information. On the last podcast, Marcus reviewed Facebook Messenger plugin and commented that everyone uses it. You may want to clarify that you guys are talking about North America. Outside of North America, the picture is very different. I have lived and traveled extensively throughout Latin America, and I can tell you that Facebook Messenger is hardly used here. In this part of the world, WhatsApp is king, and I wanted to mention this as I assume that you have a lot of international listeners." And he's got a link here to go check out how big WhatsApp is. Anyways, take care. Take care, guys, and keep up the good work. JG.
Well, I can only speak for what I know.
Well, that's true. We do. We only speak for what we know. But hey, it's nice that someone helps point out that we often forget that there's an entire world of internet, not just North America, where a large part of our clients are at.
Sure. Okay, so let me address that even further, which is I speak to that from a business standpoint.
Yep.
And WhatsApp, even though it's great, doesn't have the page capability like Facebook does, or the business setting up a business within it, or those kinds of things. So I would say that WhatsApp is probably lacking in that particular end. I have reviewed WhatsApp integrations in the past, so I know those things are already out there in terms of reviews, but I appreciate the heads up on that one, and know that when I speak, it's generally of the world that I'm in. So that's my point of reference for that.
Absolutely. All right, and this week we do have a donor. Thank you very much. We got $50 from JezWeb Pty Ltd. And this donation is on behalf of Co-ops Mowing, a WordPress website built by JezWeb in Australia. Visit them at coopsmowing.com.au to see an example of JezWeb's handiwork. So he built some.
I think
great
that might
websites.
be. I think that's Coops Mowing.
Coops Mowing. Oh, sorry. I've been working with some co-ops here and building websites for co-ops, and I see COOP and it's co-ops to me. Coops Mowing.
Coop.
You're right. My mistake. Let me blunder my tongue back under its teeth. All right, and if you'd like to support the show, please go to wppluginsa2z.com/donate. And you can currently still support us at Patreon, although I am considering moving out of that and doing away with Patreon after their debacle over the way they changed their donor system. And now they're charging the donors a transaction fee. So it's been a bit of a debacle. I know that I had donations going out to Patreons, and because they were going to tack on additional cost to it, I just yanked my things there, and I've contacted them and said, hey, you send me a PayPal, I'll send you the money direct, thereby saving us both money.
Right.
And that's one of the things that Patreon, I think, is going to shoot themselves in the foot with this. But that's an aside. And another aside and a note is that the Christmas holidays are on us. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. And since both Christmas and New Year's Day fall on show days, we will not be doing shows at that time. And we will return in the new year, possibly on a new day and time, though, as has been mentioned in previous shows. So go listen to previous shows to find out all about that.
Yep. So this is going to be our last show for the year. Right here.
No, we got one more, don't we?
The 18th.
18th.
Yep,
we got one. We got next week. Next Monday will be our last show for the year. Next Monday will be the last show for the year.
All right.
So we'll be here next Monday, and then after that, we will be off for 2 weeks as we enjoy our Christmas holidays with our families.
Sounds good.
Okay, and that brings us to our final set of plugins for the day. And the last one I've got for you here is called Countdown for the Events Calendar. Now, the Events Calendar is become a very popular calendar. It's actually become the most popular calendar because they were smart enough to keep it as a calendar and make it easy for everyone to use, and then only charge for the add-ons that people use versus the other calendar that I liked much more than this one until things changed. But the nice thing about the popularity of this calendar is more and more free plugins are appearing in the WordPress repository to help you out with it. And this is one that I have seen in specialized themes. And it is a countdown timer that's nicely stylized and allows you to set up a timer for any particular event in the calendar. We currently use it on the WP Plugins A to Z site, front page, as we count down to each show every week. And this was built into the theme, so I couldn't take it anywhere else. But the nice thing about this add-on here is this plugin is that it allows you to create the countdown timer and then insert it anywhere in the website you want with a shortcode. So you don't lose it with the theme. You can carry it from theme to theme if you decide to change themes, which happens, every couple of years with a lot of people. All in all, a very great plugin, very simple to use. It works quite effectively, and it is stylizable. You can go in there and change the colors on it, change it from a large to a small countdown timer. There's a few tweaks you can do, not a lot, but just enough to make it very stylized. You can add text that will show up when the event starts, and you can add text that will show up after the event ends. That way, when people show up as it starts or after it ends, they'll know what it was, or a message you might have to say, hey, look for our next event. At any rate, go check it out, the Countdown for the Events Calendar. A really great plugin, and I gave it a 4-dragon rating.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, I've got something that might be a little bit in the same vein. This one is called Conference Scheduler. And I need to update the notes here for you, John.
I went to go click that one up, and I ended up on the wrong page. That's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. If you want to get off that note for just a second, and
Yep. We'll bail out of there and let you add that in there.
Good. Okay, so Conference Scheduler is pretty cool. It allows you to easily manage and display complex session schedules for conferences and similar events. It allows you to basically have a clean, searchable, responsive interface that shows different classes and different sessions that you've got going on. So if you've got something, I guess, similar to like a WordCamp or something like that, and you want to add different sessions into a site, this is definitely the way to do it. So what it does is it gets the information about each session, a session ID code, time, location, description, who the presenters are, the presenter bio, and a limit, if there are limits, to how many people can actually sign up and attend. So it's a really, really nice, clean interface, very cool, kind of a responsive tile, like a masonry layout for all the sessions and things. And this one is a winner in my book. I love this plugin. It's got everything that you need in terms of setting up an event, taking care of any of those particular sessions or conferences, whatever it is that you put together that you want to sync up. And this does it magically and wonderfully. It is called Conference Schedule by Shane Warner, and I give this one a perfect 5 out of 5.
Very cool. I found it.
Yes.
They'll get a little peek at it before we wrap it up here. All right. Well, that wraps it up here. And in this episode, I covered up the brain cloud. And after the brain cloud, we got the add subtitle, which I gave a 4 to, the WP widget cloner, which I gave a 5 to, and the countdown for the events calendar, which I gave a 4 to.
And I covered admin sticky widget areas, which gets a 4, allowed routes, which gets a 4 out of 5, and we just talked about conference scheduler, which gets a 5 out of 5.
All right, and that wraps it all up for today. And just a couple reminders, be sure to check out the YouTube screencast that goes up later. I don't know if I'll add anything to it today, but hey, it's a great way to catch up with the show. Also, a note to developers, if you'd like to support the show, you would like to offer up a premium license to give away, please go to wpplugins.com/plugin contest. And remember to stop in on the YouTube channel just to check out our training videos or other miscellaneous videos we have there.
All right.
And that's all we've got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye. Well, that's all we got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Reminders for the show. All the show notes can be found at wppluginsa2z.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the Thursday newsletter for more useful information directly to your email inbox. wppluginsa2z.com is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsa2z.com/donate and choose one of the weekly donation levels or make one that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing to the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe to us on YouTube. Or follow the show on Twitter at WPPluginsA2Z. John can be reached through his website, www.johnoverall.com, or send him an email, john@wppro.ca. Marcus can also be reached through his website at marcuscouch.com or Twitter at marcuscouch. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today. All right, time for the post-show wrap-up. Well, post-show maybe. This week here, well, we'll take a couple minutes here and think about it. I'll get right back. Now, that's a wrap for today's show. We're not going to add on anything additional. Run into some issues here that I really have to solve. But thanks a lot for listening to the show. Much appreciated. Look forward to talking to you next week. Have yourself a good show. Take care. Bye-bye.